let's do some review, and this needs to be on your scrap paper and your notes, okay? Every bit of this first part should be review. So, you need to write blanks like this, pretty big. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma, and then let's just do one more. So this is on scrap paper. Okay, whoa. I see some people making some mistakes. I see some people starting on this side. We don't start on this side. We start with the ones digit. So I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna do this again. Okay. I don't start over here and go backwards. I start over here at the right, and I go 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma 1. Okay, do it just like I did it. And then we're gonna give these values to each digit. So I kind of want you to write sideways or like long ways, okay? So this first digit is the ones. Then the tens. Then the hundreds. Every bit of this is review. This is like first grade stuff. Then the thousands. Then the 10,000s. Then 100,000s. Then the millions. And we're going to stop right there. Okay, did you hear me say write it kind of big? You didn't do what I said. That was not very big. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. Okay. Every bit of that is review. Okay, hurry. You should already have this almost done. Okay. Caden, did you write it sideways and slanted like Ms. Caulfield said to do?
I can't write like that.
Okay, well, I'm fixing to erase this, so we've got to move on. You're taking too much time because you didn't do what Ms. Caulfield said to do.
I can't write like
Yes,
that.
you can. Okay, whoa. The ones are down here, bub. Okay. Okay, you're getting upset about nothing. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma 1. The first one is the ones, then the tens, then the hundreds. You could do this. Then the thousands, then the 10,000s, then the 100,000s, then the millions. Okay, no reason to get upset, just like that. Okay, leave it just like that. Okay. Now, we're on number 2. We're skipping number 1, but let's just go to 2. Right, 4,050 in expanded form. I want you to underline this word, expanded form. Underline those words, expanded form. Now, if I said to y'all, my waist is expanding, what does expanding mean? What does expanding mean, Kiara? It's getting bigger, isn't it? So what we're going to do with this number is we're going to stretch this number out, and we're going to break down every digit, and we're going to look at our cheat sheet that we just made, and we're going to break down every digit, and we're going to use parentheses. We're going to use exponents. So get ready, okay? Here we go. Here's how we do it. 4,050. Let's start with this very first digit. So the first thing you're going to do is put a parenthesis, and you're going to say 4 times. It's the very first thing you're going to do. And don't write too big because you have a lot you have to write on this, okay? Now, if you look at that 4, compare it to the cheat sheet that we just made. I want you to think about what digit that 4 is in. You find them? I guess they changed your schedule, huh? Did they? Yeah. Okay, well, get seated, and we're on page 13 and 14. Okay, so help me out. Let's see, Bentley. See that 4? Look at your paper. It's the same as mine. What place is that 4 in? Look at your cheat sheet if you need to, okay? The thou, speak up. The thousands. So she said, and let's see if y'all agree with her, that this place right here is the thousands. Help me out. What place would this be, class? Ones, 10. Everybody, come on. Ones, tens. What's this?
100.
So wouldn't this be the thousands? Do y'all agree with her? So on your scrap paper, write 1,000. Just like this, on your scrap paper. And I want you to think about how many zeros that is right there. 3 zeros, Bentley. So if there's 3 zeros, do you remember how we would write that with exponents? Do you remember? Cooper thinks he knows. Why would you write that with exponents?
A 10 and a small little
To the what power?
third power.
10 to the third power. Everybody should have this on scrap paper. Now let's talk about this. Do you agree that there's 3 zeros right there? Yes or no? Everybody? Yes. Do you agree that that little 3 right there represents how many zeros are in the number? Yeah. Do you agree that this is the thousands digit? Yeah. So come over here and put 4 times 10 to the third power. Why do we know that? Because it fell in the thousands digit. Okay, now after you get that written, eyes up here. Okay, so the next digit is a 0. Well, there's no value to that 0. So anytime you see 0 on this deal, you just skip it, okay? There's no value to it. Literally, that's worth nothing. So the next digit we have to go to is the 5. So come over to your answer, put a plus, put a parenthesis, and do 5 times. Now, I need your help. Let's see if Jake Lee can tell me. What place would that 5 be in? Right there, Jake Lee. If you need to look at your cheat sheet, you can. That can't be 10,000s. 10,000s would be all the way over here. At the very last, class helper, what place is this right here? The very first place is the ones, then the tens. Everybody write 10. How many zeros are in just plain old 10? 1. So how would you write that with the exponent? Caden thinks he knows.
10 to the first power.
Yes, sir. So come over here and add 10 to the first power and put a parenthesis. And since there's no other digits in this number that have any value, you're done, okay? So it's kind of easy when there's a lot of zeros in there because you only do the digits that have value. Got it? Say got it.
Got it.
Okay, let's keep going. Number 3 and 4. In 3 and 4, write the values of the given digits. It wants the 7s in 7,700. So I'm going to start with this first 7. Hope, that first 7 right there. Tell me what that 7 right there is worth. What place is it in? And if you need to look at your cheat sheet we just made, then do that. What place is that 7 in? Let Hope do. Tell us. It's on your paper too. What place is that 7 in? Okay, where are you getting that? I'm a little confused. Okay, here's the numbers. Everybody watching, every eye up here, okay? Is this an easy question? This very first digit is a 0. Look at the on your scrap sheet of paper that we just made. At the very end, what place is that, class? Ones. Go to the next one. What place is that?
10.
Well, go to the next one. What place is that?
100.
Go to the next one. What place is that? 1,000. So if there's a 7 right there, what's that worth then? 7,000. There's your first answer. Then I want you to put a semicolon. Now, Daisy, what about this 7? You got to think what place it's in. It's in the hundreds place, but there's a 7 there. So what would that be worth then, sister? 700. Good job. Now we're on number 4. Now we're looking at 2s. The 2's in 522. So Hope, I'm going to give you another one. This 2 right here. not in this place, but it's in this place. Look at your cheat sheet. What place is that? Huh? I'm confused because on our cheat sheet, didn't we say this was the ones, which would be that? This was the tens, which would be that. Don't you see that this is one digit and this is the digit right next to the ones? So it's got to be the what digit? I can't hear you, speak up. Tens, but there's a 2 there, so what's it worth? 2 tens. 10 and another 10. 20, there's your first answer. Keep it going, and Eric, now we need this 2. What place is it in? But there's a 2 in it, so what's that really just worth? Just plain old 2. There you go. Let's keep going. On number 5, 6, and 7, the instructions or directions say to write each number in standard form. Okay, you're welcome. You don't need it right now, then. Write each number in standard form. Do you remember last week, and even on our notes, and maybe y'all have your same scrap paper from last week like you should have? What did we say standard form is? The plain old number. Colin was listening. I just want the plain old number. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I want all that put together to give me just a plain old number. So that's the first thing we have to do. What's this number? Say this number, Kaden.
8 million.
8,309. So we've got to somehow put all this together and add it up to get 8,309. So I think it would probably be a good idea if we, on scrap paper, we wrote it like this. There's the first number. On scrap paper, Xander, you should be writing this. Plus 300. Plus 9. Now look how I wrote mine. Gosh, I hope your paper looks like my paper. And let's add now. 0, 0, and 9 is 9. 0, 0 is 0. 0 and 3 is 3. Then I've got 3 zeros. And then I've got an 8. So that's your answer. 8,309. Does that look like the Plano number to you? Did I put all the digits together or I made a Plano number?
Yeah.
Because it said standard form. So on number 6, 4 times 10 to the 4th power. We've got to figure out what 10 to the 4th power would even mean. Now let's think. Okay, eyes up here. To the 4th power would mean how many zeros are in my number?
4.
4. So right on top of this, mark this out. Mark that out, Cooper. And I want you to write a 1 with how many zeros, class?
4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, your paper should look just like my paper. But Cooper, I'm not done, because what do I have to do to that 10,000 right here?
Multiply by 4.
So when you multiply 10,000 times 4, what do you get, Cooper?
40,000.
40,000. So on scrap paper, write 40,000, just like that. And let's just mark out this whole first parenthesis. And then it says plus. Brooklyn, right? Okay. So 6 times 10 to the 2nd power. Let's just do this 10 to the 2nd power, Brooklyn. And everybody mark that out and put a 1 with how many zeros, Miss Brooklyn?
2.
2. So 10 to the 2nd power is actually 100, isn't it, class?
Yes.
But I'm not done, Brooklyn. I have to multiply that 6 times 100. And when you multiply 6 times 100, what do you get?
600.
So come over on your scrap paper and put 600, just like this. And there's nothing else to add, so add those together. Add those together, Eric. And Colin, what do you get your answer to be? 40,000 plus 600 is?
40,600.
40,600. Your answer should look just like that. It's the plain old number. Number 7. I think it'd be a good idea to do 10,000 over here on scrap paper. Make sure all your digits are lined up. Plus 20 plus 3. Because Adrian, aren't you writing that on scrap paper? Come on. So Jake Lee, what'd you get as your answer? Speak up, honey. Okay, tell me how to write that. She said 10,023. She's right, but let's make sure she has her numbers in the right places. Okay, speak up. A 10. A 0 and then 23. 10,023. Does your paper look like my paper?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's keep going. And 8 and 10, write each number in expanded form. You should probably underline expanded form. So this is where we're going to make our answer look like this. It's stretching it out, and we're using exponents, so I think over to the side you should put exponents. We're using exponents. So number 8. 5,360. So the first thing we're going to deal with, I need to see everybody's eyes. The first thing we're going to deal with is this first digit right here. So put a parenthesis and put 5 times, because that first digit is a 5. Now here's where we have to start remembering what our places are. So Bentley, that 5 right there. What place is that 5 in? Right there. The thousands. Everybody write 1,000. Bentley, how many zeros are in that 1,000? 3. So how would you write that like an exponent? How many zeros are there? So what would my exponent be? 10 to the 3rd power. So write that, 10 to the 3rd power, just like that. Then put a plus sign. I'm done with the 5, now I'm to the 3. So put a parenthesis and put 3 times. Kiara, what place is that 3 in, sister? The hundreds. Everybody write 100. Kiara, when you see 100, how many zeros do you see?
I see 2.
So how would you write that like an exponent? 10 to the 2nd power. She is so right. Then put a plus sign because we're not done yet. Now we got to deal with this 6. Hope, what place is that 6 in, sister? I'll give you a hint. This is the 1's place. So what does that have to be? The 10s. Everybody write 10. Oh, we're not. First we got to do this. We got to put a parenthesis 6 times. I forgot. We had forgot to do that. Hope, when you see a 10, how many zeros do you see? 1. So how would you write that like an exponent? If a while ago she saw 2 zeros, she said 10 to the 2nd power. And then Bentley saw 3 zeros, so she said 10 to the 3rd power. But you just see 1 0. So what would that be? Help her, Eric. Oh, who knows? Who's following along? Tell me what to put.
It is 10 to the 1st.
Yes, sir. Because there's only 1 0. And the very last digit is just a 0, and since that has no value, you don't have to do anything to that one, okay? So you're done. Now we go on number 9. 102,200. So we're going to start on this 1. So since there's quite a few digits, don't write too big, okay? Ms. Kleifeld tends to write too big. So put a parenthesis 1 times, just like this. So Colin, I want you to think about what place is that 1 right here. In fact, all of us. Let's do this first part together. Okay, I need to see everybody's eyes. Help me class, tell me the values of these digits. This is the ones, tens, hundred, keep going. Thousands, 10,000, 100,000. On your paper, write 100,000. Colin, how many zeros are there? 5. If there's 5 zeros, how do you write that like an exponent?
10 to the first.
To the first power? You only saw 1 zero right there? Fifth. 10 to the 5th power. Good job, Colin. Then a plus sign. Eric, what about that 0? What do I do?
Leave it alone.
Good job. Now we're on this 2. Let me see your eyes. What place is this? Ones, tens, hundreds. What would this be? Thousands. Everybody write 1,000. So since it's a 2, you need to put a parenthesis and you need to put 2 times. Eric, it's in the 1,000 spot. How many zeros do you see there, bud?
3.
So how would you write that like an exponent?
10 to the third power.
Good job. 10 to the 3rd power. Then a plus sign. And if you run out of space, you can write it underneath. Because look, Miss Goffelt ran out of space. Okay, so I gotta do this. Now I'm on this 2. Okay, I need your help on places. Seems like some of y'all still don't know this. Help me. Ones, tens, hundreds. Everybody write 100. And this is a 2, so I put my parenthesis 2 times. And if this is in the 100 spot, Daisy, how many zeros do you see when you see that, sister? 2. So how do you write that like an exponent? Yes, 10 to the 2nd power. Are y'all starting to catch on a little bit? Shake your head. Okay. And what do I do with these last 2 zeros? What do I do with them? Just tell me. You just leave them. You don't do anything. They have no value. Now I'm on number 10. Oh gosh, this is a big number. The good news is there's lots of zeros in it though. Lots of zeros. Okay, you don't have to write it. You've already got it on your paper. Look, you've already got it there. I just want to write it for me. Okay, and we're going to start with this 8. So somebody tell me what I have to do first.
8.
You mean a parenthesis first? And put 8 times. That's the first thing we have to do.
Already catch up.
Okay, now we're over here at the very end of our number.
1.
Hold on. Okay, guys at the back, I need to know that you're watching me. Okay, ready, girls? Help me. We got to go all the way to the 8 to figure out what place it's in. Ones, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000. What's this? Millions. 10 million. On your paper, oh my gosh, write 10 million. Because we got to figure out how many zeros that is. Hope, how many zeros do you see? 7. So what would I write right here then? 10 to the 7th power. Now put a plus sign. And a new parenthesis. What's my next number? Then I'm going to have to write what? 5. Times. Well, if that 8 was in the 10 millions place, what place is this 5 in? Tell me. Millions. On your scrap paper, write a million. Jake Lee, how many zeros have we got there, sister? 6. So how should I write that? 10 to the 6th power. Then a plus sign. Good news, I got 4 zeros. I could just skip over those. That would be bad if there was a number in every one of these digits, wouldn't there? That would be bad. Now we're down to this. Okay, so put a parenthesis. Put a 1 times. Brooklyn, what place is that 1 in right there, sister?
10.
Tens. So if you just see the number 10, how many zeros is that?
1 and
So that would be,
10 to the first power.
yes ma'am, 10 to the first power because there was only 1 zero. And the very last number is just 1. And why is that really just worth 1?
It's in the one.
Because it's in the ones place. So you just put plus 1 right there. Plus 1. Because it really is just in the ones place. Number 11 says write the values of the given digits. So I need the 7s. So in this number, 6,778, okay? So Bentley, this first 7, I want you to tell me what place that's in. Yeah, this is the 10, so this is the 100. But there's a 7 there, Bentley. So what's it worth then? There's your first answer to number 11, 700. Now when you write your 700, put a little semicolon in between it because you have 2 answers. Jake Lee, what about this next 7? What place is that in, sister? But there's a 7 there. 70. There's your next answer. 70. Number 12. The 9s in 990,250. Here we are on this first 9. Kaden, guys, don't work ahead. Stay with me. On that first, I got it. I'm having trouble keeping my lid in the bag. Kaden, that first 9. What place is that in?
100,000.
100,000, but there's a 9 there. So what's that worth?
900,000.
That 900,000. That's your first answer. 900,000. That's your first answer. Then put a semicolon because you got another 9 up there. What about this 9, Mr. Collin? What place is that in?
The
10,000. But there's a 9 there. So what would that be worth then?
90,000.
90,000. Good job. So you should have 900,000 as one answer and 90,000 as your second answer. Those are the values of the 9s. What numbers are we looking for in number 13? What does it say? Find the values of the ones. So here's our big number. Bump, 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 bump. I need the value of that right there. Well, help me. Everybody in the class say this. What place is this? Ones. Keep going.
Tens.
Hundreds. Thousands. What's this right? 10,000. If there's only a 1 there, what's it worth then? 10,000. There's your first answer. That's your first answer. Then put a semicolon. What about this next one? Eric, what place is that in?
100,000.
But there's a 1 there, so what's it worth? 1,000. That's your next answer, 1,000. I'm not going to write it. Have you already done those? Don't work ahead. Now put a semicolon because you've got another answer. This time you got 3 ones. So Xander, what's that 1 right there worth?
100.
And there's a 1 there, so what's it really worth? If it's in the hundreds place and there's 1 in it, then it really is just worth 100. There's your final answer, 100. Okay, turn the page over. 14 says write the number name. You should underline that. You should draw a little arrow up from that, and you should write word. That means it wants the words. You've got to literally spell out M-I-L-L-I-O-N if it's in the millions. You have to spell it out like words. Are you with me? You like literally have to spell it. Then expanded form. Draw arrow up from that. That's supposed to be in exponents. Xander, are you doing what I said to do? I'm giving you hints. So we have to do two things on this. We're going to have to spell it out in letter form, and then we're going to have to write it in exponents. Now help me, we got to figure out what we're even doing. For the number of, what does this say?
Driver X.
That could be in, what does this say?
2 colonies.
2 colonies. I think that's important that you underline 2 colonies, not just 1 colony, but 2 colonies. Now look over at this cool picture. On your paper, you have it too. In this little box, up to, anybody know how to say that number? 22 million driver ants can live, read these words with me, in a single colony. What does single mean? How many is a single? Just say it. 1. Does that say 1?
2.
No, so I'm going to have to make another one of those. I'm going to have to double it, aren't I? So 22 million plus another 22 million would be how many million? 44 million. So on your scrap paper, write 44 million. Didn't say 1 colony, it said 2 colonies. Do you have that written, Eric? On your scrap paper. Okay, now here's what I have to do. I have to spell it out in words. So somebody tell me how to spell out 44 million. Who's a good speller in here? Caden, you think you are? Tell me how to spell 44 million.
F-O-U.
Nope. How do you spell 40? Nobody knows how to spell 40? Oh dear. F-O-R-T-Y. 44 million. Come on, y'all need to wake up. Getting a little frustrated at kids who aren't engaged in the lesson. We're all going to have to move up here to the front row if we need to. And just because I'm writing this doesn't mean I'm going to do this every time, okay? Y'all are 5th graders. You can write 44 million. Did y'all put a hyphen? Because if you didn't, you need to. Okay, so what was the first thing that we were supposed to do? We were supposed to write the, say this. Did we write the number name and words? Okay, what else do we have to do? We have to write the expanded form. So you need a semicolon. And here we go. We got to write a parenthesis. And the very first number is a 4. So we're going to write 4 times. Okay, help me. I'm not going to tell you what place this 4 is in. I've been doing it all morning long. So here we go. You're going to have to help me. Ones.
10s, 100s, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000,
Millions. 10 million. Somebody tell me how to write 10 million. Because I'm not going to do it for you. Eric, you know?
T.
No, not in words. Like in numbers now. How do I write 10 million?
1, 0, comma, no, not, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0.
Okay, I agree with him. Now somebody tell him what to do about the number of zeros. Or maybe tell me what to do with the number of zeros. What do I do now, Eric?
Put it into
Exponents. Okay. Count the number of zeros.
7,
He sees 7 zeros. Do y'all agree with 7
Yeah.
zeros? So tell me what to write right here, Eric.
10 to the 7th power.
Good job. Then put a plus sign. Now we're on this next 4. So put a parenthesis and put 4 times. Okay, class, I need some help to tell me what place this is. Everybody.
1s, 10s, 100s, 1,000s, 10,000s, thousands, 1,000.
Whoa. 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. Somebody tell me how to write a million. Say it.
1, 0, comma, after the word,
how many zeros do you see?
Excuse me for this announcement. 7th and 8th grade football players need to bring a small towel with them to the game to wipe their face. So 7th and 8th grade football players, bring a small towel with you to the game. Thank you.
You saw 6 zeros, so what do I write right here then, Hope?
10 to the 6th power.
10 to the 6th power with parentheses. Am I done, Kiara? Oh, maybe she needs help from a boy. Any boy, can they tell her she's done? Can you tell her? Is she done, Eric?
Yeah.
Why? There's a whole bunch more digits up there.
The zeros are not it.
They're all zeros, so is she done? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's done. Okay, come on, Kira. Get engaged in the lesson. Number 15. A queen ant can produce about, what does this say right here? 9 million ants. I think you should probably underline that. Let's see what we're supposed to do with that. Get your pencil on the word write. Read this with me. Write this number in what? Standard form. What standard form? The plain old number. How do I write 9 million, Brooklyn?
9, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0.
Good girl. 9 million. That's exactly how you write it in standard form. Number 16. Paul says that the number 6,367, 1/6, is 10 times as great as the other 6. Is he correct? So let's see. All eyes up here. He says that this 6 is 10 times bigger than this 6. Well, I don't know. Let's see what the value of this is and the value of this. Kiara, what place is this in? Actually, I should ask you, what's that worth? Okay, she says that that's in the 10s and it's worth 60. Do y'all agree with her?
Yeah.
I agree too. Daisy, what about this? What's that worth right there? Speak up. 6,000. I think what Daisy was thinking is that's in the thousands, and since there's a 6 there, that makes it worth 6,000. Do y'all agree with Daisy?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think if look what it says, 10 times. If I multiply that times 10, there's nothing to write. There's nothing to write. If I multiply that times 10, am I gonna get 6,000? Let's try it. So on your paper, on your scrap paper, I want you to write 60 times 10. And do you remember last week I showed you to let the 0 hang off? Some of y'all said you knew that. Okay, now watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring that 0 straight down. Then I go to the 1. What's 1 times 0, class?
0.
What's 1 times 6, class?
6.
6. What did I end up with?
600.
When I multiplied that times 10, did I end up with this answer right here?
No.
No, so is he correct, yes or no?
No.
There's your answer, no. Then how do I go from 60 to 6,000? Not 10 times greater, but what do you think?
20.
Yeah. Watch me, just watch me, watch me, watch. Are y'all watching? If I multiply this times 20, let's see if I get 6,000. Bring that 0 straight down. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Did I end up with the same thing? No. We gotta finish this before we can go. What do you think the answer is? It's not 10 times, but you think you know? 100 times greater. Good job. 100 times greater. Okay.